Hey guys, this is Cam Interviews. We are here with Rory from Dayseeker. How you doing today, man?
Good, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. You know, we're here at the CD release for your guys' new album, Origin. So, I mean, how stoked are you for that? And what has the response been thus far, like online, for the people that have heard the full stream and whatnot?
It's been rad, man. I was kind of worried a lot of people were, or too many people were illegally downloading it. But now that the stream is out, I'm a lot more at ease about the situation. But the response has been incredible, actually. Like, a lot of people saying that they feel like it's actually better than the first record. I'm prone to the newer one just because the quality is so much nicer than the first one. But I think overall we're really proud of it, and I'm just stoked because I kind of thought there's a lot of bands, they come out with their opening album and it's incredible. I'm not saying the first one was incredible, but the first one's really good, and then they come out with a sophomore and it's just garbage, or it just doesn't even compare. So I think we did a pretty decent job at transitioning and keeping a similar sound, but still kind of changing the dynamics of the writing a little bit. So I'm stoked, man. I couldn't be any more happier.
Yeah. And so I want to talk about that, like the writing process a little bit, because when we had our first interview, you were talking about how you guys had half the album written very far in advance, and then the second half was written within 2 weeks. So what was it like to have this actual specific dedicated pocket of time for an entire album?
It was a lot different. I remember I was kind of freaking out because even up until we went to record the album, we had about 6 songs written instrumentally, and truthfully, I only had maybe 2 to 4 songs, rough ideas. I didn't have one song actually finished, lyrically or melodically or anything, vocally. So it was a little stressful because we showed up with about 6 full songs finished instrumentally, and then we were aiming to do about 10. The producer, Nick Ingram, actually said oh, that's kind of lazy. You guys should write. You should write at least 11. And then we have there's a gap track of just kind of beautiful ambient guitar. So it's technically 12 tracks, but it was a little stressful because I had to help finish writing the instrumentation with all the guys before I could even kind of bury myself into the vocals. And then it was really cool though, man. We basically had a whole house to ourselves. Nick Ingram is an awesome guy to work with. He basically has his studio downstairs in the attic. Doesn't look like an attic though. It looks like a studio. And then upstairs is the living quarters. So it was kind of just not even a Monday through Friday. It was a Monday through Sunday because you would just record every day. But it was just basically he'd come over. We'd work 10 to 5 or 10 to 6, and then when he would leave, then we'd either hang out, or most of the time I was having to finish writing all the vocals. So it was kind of a bummer sometimes because all the guys might hang out and watch a movie or something, but I kind of had to lock myself in my room and just really try and write. And that was, so I mean, vocally I was a little stressed, but I'm surprised. I was worried I was going to start getting repetitive with some of the melodies or the writing, but they all, in my personal opinion, I think they all came out sounding pretty different, but it was nice though. It didn't feel as rushed as the first one, just because we had so much time to focus on writing that album.
That's tight.
Yeah.
So, I mean, how involved are you in the instrumentation? Because, yeah, I know you do play guitar and whatnot. So,
Yeah.
What specific song would you say your instrumentation was most influenced in, I guess?
Man, that I had a bigger part in writing?
Yeah.
Probably. Leads are always done by Alex. I'll write a lead here or there, but he's much better on that end. And Gino helps write the rhythm instruments too. But I'd say the title track Origin, I had a huge hand in the rhythm guitar writing. And then it's funny. I feel most of the time Alex or Gino will come up with a riffy part, and then I don't know if it's just because I started in acoustic music. I just feel I know chorus chords really easily, so when they come up with something kind of heavy or fast-paced, and then there's a gap for a chorus, I just find something in that key and kind of mess with it, and then it kind of helps me too because I'm writing the vocal melody. I can start hearing stuff right off the bat with the type of chords we're using for a chorus, but definitely Origin I had a huge hand in, and then there's another track called The World Was Quiet, and I had a big hand in that one too, but everybody threw in quite a bit of help with writing the guitars.
Sweet. So lyrically, I want to talk a little bit about like what subjects you wanted to dive into for this record, and like what kind of inspired you to talk about these things. And then I also noticed that some of the topics seem to like almost bleed from what it means to be defeated. Like there are common themes of like, you know, religion, and then also like a girl character, I guess. I'll call her a character.
Yeah.
So you just talk a little bit about that. Like where did you get their inspiration for these topics?
Okay. Well, I know we started writing a song that was in the same key as Hollow Shell, and I don't want to say personally like my faith or my religion has or my faith in a religion has started to stray, but I feel more lost almost spiritually. Like I was very confident in the idea of a God when What It Means to Be Defeated came out, and I still am. I feel like I vary, so I just feel like with Hollow Shell I was really trying to go, you know, there is a God, there's always a God, just look towards that direction. And I hope people don't take it, because there is a track called A God Without a Face that's pretty that's pretty negative right off the bat. But it wasn't necessarily from my direct perspective. It was kind of, I feel like Hollow Shell is the good thoughts you could have about keeping faith in a God. And a God without a face is basically somebody who is just kind of resenting like any idea of a God. So it was kind of cool, because like I dig the fact that all the chords are really similar and the key of the songs are both the same, so you can kind of link them together. If you listen to them back to back especially, like I think you'll see a bit of a kind of a connection between the two. And then so there's that song. The Earth Will Turn is about my mother, and then I wrote a Cancer Uncontained about my dad. And it's funny because The Earth Will Turn is like a very like negative and kind of hateful song, and then A Cancer Uncontained about my dad is kind of, it was interesting trying to write a song that was more about like appreciating the struggle my dad goes through, because I should say my dad doesn't have cancer, he just has Parkinson's, but it's still like a pretty rough disease to see him go through, and so I just kind of wanted to show my appreciation for his struggles and everything he does as a parent. And then me and my mom don't talk a ton of the time, and she got involved with a lot of heavier drugs, and so it's funny because I've written about her in the past, and like the first song I wrote was more like sad and kind of melancholy that my mom wasn't there, and then I wrote an acoustic song that was like a connection to that one that was more, oh, like I still love you, it's more happy. And then it's funny because The Earth Will Turn is like, I don't like you at all. So I think it's just kind of how your life just kind of goes in waves and patterns. Like nothing, at least my feelings towards certain people just don't seem to stay consistent. But yeah, I tried to just switch it up a little bit with the writing styles, but I'm hoping like if anybody has like any issues with their parents or like an appreciation with them, that they can find some ability to relate with either two of those tracks that I wrote there.
Yeah. And so this girl character too, because I've seen more comments on that because more so people have girl problems. So
Yeah,
I mean, is that the same person, and how has that relationship evolved? Because I know now the lyrics on this record are more so like it's been 2 years and whatnot. So
yeah, it is. Yeah, it's strange because I'm dating somebody right now and things are going well. So that track specifically, that's the one called "The World Was Quiet." It was interesting writing that one because my relationship is pretty good for the most part. So but the tone of the music is so dark. I can't be like things are great. Like it doesn't make sense. So with female characters, I usually kind of have to dive into like older depressions I was feeling. The same woman I wrote about in like the title track of the last record, which is What It Means to Be Defeated, and The Home We Built is the one I'm referring to in The World Was Quiet. But again, I was like really kind of digging into, I feel like, older feelings as opposed to what I'm actually going through right now. But it's not too hard. You just kind of immerse yourself in that like space of time and what you were doing and how you were handling the situation, and it's pretty easy to kind of latch onto older feelings. But I'm hoping it's still translated like it was sincere, not like I was bullshitting anything. But yeah.
All right. And so can you expand on the title Origin? Like how does that tie into like the theme of the album? What does that mean, I guess, for fans to grasp onto?
Yeah, Origin was, because basically in the dictionary I just read that origin is just, the most basic form, it's just the start of something. So I kind of, since the last record, I feel like I've met more people who deal with more like depression and anxiety and like suicidal tendencies. So I liked the idea of writing a song. I don't know. It's pretty dark and there's not really a hopeful theme to it, but I'm hoping that people find an ability to relate to that content, that the end of the song always doesn't have to be like things are going to get better, like it's great, like life's okay. So I just thought like This Is the Death of My Origin was just kind of a creative way of saying like this is like the end of my life. Like it's kind of like that whole song is basically a spiral downwards into somebody who's very close to taking their own life. And so that was just where I came up with Origin with that song in particular.
Okay. So lastly, what is your favorite song off of the new record and why?
Oh man, I like The Earth Will Turn a lot, which we just put out a music video for. I feel like just like the melody lines and the structuring of the song, I was just really, really stoked on that one. But I like that one. I like the ending track too, which is we had a few. That was another kind of track where I didn't actually go through that, but we had a few people reach out and say they had friends or they personally had lost a child due to like a miscarriage, or their like son had died really early, like due to cancer. So I basically just tried to get in that mind state as best as I could, and we just wrote a track based off what they would go through if they kind of lost their child before they even had a chance to like open their eyes. So I like that one a lot personally.
All right, well, that concludes the interview. Thank you so much for having us. And yeah, guys, make sure to go check out Origin. It comes out April 21st. You can pre-order it online, or you can just buy it online, iTunes, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. All right, guys, take it easy this time interview.